A little while back here on the channel, we took a look at my new at the time Mossberg 940 Pro Tactical 12 gauge semi-auto shotgun. And if you saw that video, you know that the version I bought did not come with the factory installed Holosun 407K dot sight that is an option from Mossberg. So I reached out to my friends at Holosun, asked them if they would send me one to review. They actually said, we'll send you even better one. We'll send you this EPS MRS multiple reticle system sight. You can put it on. And so they did. And I did, but I did have some hiccups here, and there's some things you're going to absolutely need to know if you want to put one of these on your shotgun. And we're going to talk about that, and I'll go into very good detail on that quickly, and then we'll take this thing to the range and see how well she performs. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. By the way, I'd like to give a big thank you to the sponsors to today's video, the folks at XS Sights. XS Sights on every single carry pistol that I have. They are 100% made in the USA, and they have never let me down. And if you're watching this video when it first comes out, September the 1st to the 8th, 2023, they're having a huge Labor Day sale, 25% off the entire sight. So that's going to be your chance to save big bucks on the absolute best sights money can buy. That's XS Sights. Now let's take a look at today's video. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. And thanks to the folks at Holosun for sending me one of their, here it is, and here's the box. It is an EPS green MRS. That stands for Enclosed Pistol Sight Green Multiple Reticle System. And what that means is it is enclosed, first of all. There's a lens back here and the lens on front. So stuff doesn't get dropped, gunked, and dusted, and whatever else down in there. It keeps it nice and clean in there, and there's no crooks and crevices and crannies and you know, all kinds of little cracks to clean out, keep clean. It also means this thing is IPX8 water resistant, which means it is virtually submersible. This one also has the solar panel on top, which allows it to power from solar when there's enough light, and saves your battery, so your battery can last up to 50,000 hours. It also has a sensor in here that adjusts the brightness, that can adjust the brightness of the reticle based upon ambient light, or you can just set it manually. Your decision, your choice there. What else? Oh, the multiple reticle system is really cool. You can choose between 3 different reticles. You can have a 2 MOA dot. You can have a 32 MOA circle with some crosshatches on the outside, some crosshairs on the outside, or you can have a combination of the 32 MOA circle and a 2 MOA dot all together, which I like that. I like that one. It's pretty cool, I think. This one is green. It's also available in red, because this is a little different configuration than the 407K that just factory mounted on here. I ran into a couple of little headaches, and that's why I want to go over that. If you want to get one of these, here's some very valuable information for you. So first of all, this thing comes with a RMR to K adapter plate. Here's the adapter plate that it came with, and here's the plate that came off of the shotgun, just the spacer plate. You can notice, first of all, the adapter plate is a little bit longer, maybe about 1/4 inch longer. So it has to direct mount it. Not a problem, because 2 holes on the sight line up with 2 threaded tapped holes on the top of the receiver. But the problem I encountered was this thing came with a few different screws, right? So it came with this little tiny screw here. A little bitty tiny screw, too short. This longer one is a 632, and then it came with this little fine thread one. Well, it turns out that the tapping on top of the receiver is the little fine thread. And I, through some research and trial and error and going to the Home Depot, I found out this is an M3 thread. So that's a metric 3. At least that seems to work. So I screwed these things in there. It was all good. I thought it'd be great. And then I noticed that I couldn't get my bolt was stuck. It wouldn't go up. So I realized, you know what, these screws are too long. They're impinging upon the bolt. So I went to the old Home Depot. I got some nuts, some little tiny nuts like this, and I made a little spacer. And anyway, bottom line, I cut off just a tiny bit, maybe like less than 1 millimeter of the bolt. And if you're going to do this, I highly recommend that you start with it too long, because the first time I got it perfect, the second time I had to get it just a little bit more. So I had it cut off. It's still sticking out a little bit, so I cut it a little bit more. And now, as you can see and hear, it's working perfectly. So that was a little hiccup I had to overcome. I did have to modify the screws. Hopefully Holosun can, I'm going to reach out to them. Hopefully they can come up with some other screws to mount this on a shotgun. But that wasn't that hard to do if you got a Dremel tool. I never ever say put Dremel tools on firearms, but that's a bolt. So I figure the worst that happens, I screw up a bolt. So there's that. I think that the sight itself is a really good sight. I like the enclosed feature. I like the fact that the circle especially picks up your eye really quickly. So now I guess the next thing to do would be to take this thing to the old range and kind of get it adjusted in and see how well it performs, see how well it stays in zero with a shotgun, because 12 gauge is pretty hefty little recoil there, and we'll see how she does. So, you want to? Okay, we're here at Stoddard's range and got the target set at about 15 feet. We're going to start out with some Remington buckshot. So 15 feet now, we'll take it to 30 feet. Same, a little bit high. So we'll drop it down just a little bit. Okay, so I took it down 5 clicks. Let's try again. You want to? I'm going to shoot at the bottom, number 4 now. Try to keep it consistent. A little bit lower, but still a little high. We'll try one more. Closer. Maybe I'll take it one more click down and get a new target. I went on and took the target all the way out to 25 yards. I've got 2 different slugs to choose from. This is a low recoil, 1,300 feet per second. Federal, this is a Winchester, 1,600 feet per second. I bet there's a difference. So we're going to start with a low recoil at 25 yards and see what happens. A little bit high, a little bit to the right, but I'm going to shoot again because I don't necessarily trust that. Okay, they were both right here. I'm going to pop it a little bit to the left. So I went 10 clicks to the left. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm about half as far to the left as I was to the right, so I'm going to go back. I went 10 clicks, and that moved it that far, so maybe I come back 3 clicks, because I need to move it about 1/3 of the way that it moves. So let's see what happens now. So there's the first 2, there's the second one, there's the third one. So maybe I can come back to the right 1 more click, but it's probably me as much as it is the sight. I think we're really close, so we're gonna do that. Okay, so this was the last one. So we went from here to here to here. I'm calling that good. I don't think I have the capability to get it a shotgun zeroed any better than that. I'm happy with that. So now we're going to switch to the 1,600 feet per second. I'm going to shoot one just so I can give you a comparison between the 2, and then we'll let Josh, my son, shoot 1 or 2 or 3. He can shoot all 4 of them if his shoulder will hold up. Okay, now we got the Winchester 1,600 feet per second silver edge slug. Let's see what we got here. Ready? Woo! Chuck Norris can order a Big Mac from Burger King and get one. Okay, well, hopefully you can see that the Holosun EPS, here's a couple more close-ups, did an excellent job with the old Mossberg 940 Pro 12 gauge. Even with the 1,600 feet per second slugs, this thing took a licking and kept on ticking. So, a couple of things I really like about this thing. I like the enclosed pistol sight version with enclosed back on it. It's got front and back. no crooks and crannies and crevices to catch junk. I like, of course, the solar option on top. The shake awake feature, you don't have to worry about. Just leave it alone, pick it up, and it's ready to go. I really, really like the MRS multiple reticle system. I like that dot with a circle around it. To me, it's a lot easier to pick up with my eye quickly than just the dot. Your eye just seems to want to follow that circle around. Now, I will say, as far as the little glitch that we had with the screws, to be completely fair to the folks at Holosun, this sight was not designed to be mounted on this shotgun out of the box. But the thing worked. I had to cut the screws off just a little bit, and it just works flawlessly. Fits perfectly, and just it's an excellent sight. So, again, that's the Holosun EPS MRS. I hope this has been helpful. Thanks again to the folks at Holosun for sending me this so I can show it to you and test it out. And as always, thank you so much for watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.